Hi guys, welcome to my channel. In this video, we are going to discuss about expressing rational numbers from fraction form to decimal form and vice versa. Of course, we have our objectives. After watching this video, you will be able to number 1. Express rational numbers from fraction form to decimal form. Then number 2, you will be able to express rational numbers from decimal form to fraction form. Of course, before going further with our lesson, let us first recall our knowledge about finding the greatest common factor or GCF. Alright, let us try to find out the GCF of 75 and 100. To do that, we need to list the multiple of 75 and 100 and find their GCF. Alright, for 75, these are all the multiples of 75 or the factors of 75. When we multiply 1 and 75, the product is 75. When we multiply 3 and 25, the product is 75. When we multiply 5 and 15, the product is still 75. So these are all the factors of 75. And these are also the factors of 100. Now, let us find their GCF, the greatest common factor. When we see common, that number is in 75 and 100. So we have here 5 and 25, but we will choose the greatest one. So we will choose 25. Okay, so this is now the GCF of 75 and 100. Okay guys, this is very important because in this lesson, we are going to deal with fraction. And once we're dealing with fraction, we need to reduce that fraction to its lowest term when it is needed. And to do that, we need to have our GCF. So these are the process to find the GCF. Alright? Now let us try to answer this one first. Find the greatest common factor of the two numbers. It's number 1, 7 and 13. So the GCF is 7. Then for number 2, 12 and 32. The GCF is 4. For number 3, 9 and 21. The GCF is 3. For number 4, 10 and 45. The GCF is 5. Then lastly, number 5. The GCF of 4 and 28. That is 4. So alright guys, I hope that your knowledge about finding the greatest common factor were able to refresh. Alright? Now, let us talk about how to convert fraction into decimals. Alright, so we have here a chart. Okay, so this is what we call the decimal point. At the left side of the decimal point, the place value we have here start at ones, then tens, then hundreds. Okay, then at the right side of the decimal point, the place value start at tens, then hundreds, then thousands. Alright guys, so we're going to use this chart to convert fraction into decimal or decimal into fraction. Alright, so how the fractional part can be converted into decimals? For example, we have here 6 over 10. Alright, so the denominator is 10. So that means 6 needs to be in the tens place. Alright, so take note of this guys. Once the denominator of your fraction is 10, no, the numerator, if it is a single digit, it needs to be in the tens place. Alright, so if the numerator is 2 digit, just look at the last digit. Okay, so let us find out what the chart looks like. Okay, here. So we place 6 at the tens place. Alright? So meaning, the decimal form of 6 over 10 is 0.6. So this is now the final answer. Next example, 6 over 100. So this time, our denominator is 100. Meaning, 6 needs to be in the hundreds place. Alright? So we will place 6 in this place value, which is hundreds. Now, since we do not have any digit to be placed in here, so what are we going to do is, we need to add 0. Alright? So this is very important. I want you to take note of this, guys. Alright? So meaning, the decimal form of 6 over 100 is 0.06. So this is now our answer. Next example, 6 over 1000. So our denominator this time is 1000. So meaning, 6 needs to be in the thousands place. So we will place 6 in a thousands place. Alright? Then we will do the same in the previous slide. We will add zeros here. Alright? So meaning, the decimal form of 6 over 1000 is 0.006. So this is now our answer. Alright? So this time, our example containing a whole number. Alright? So 25 and 6 over 10. So we have here what we call the whole number, which is 25. But let us focus only on the fractional part. Okay? 6 over 10, we have already answered this one. And the decimal form of 6 over 10, that is 0.6. So, the next question is, what are we going to do with the whole number? Very simple, guys. Let us just copy the whole number. Of course, using the chart, let us place each digit here according to its place value. So 5 needs to be in the ones place. Then 2 needs to be in the tens place. So meaning, the decimal form of 25 and 6 over 10 is 25.6. Okay? So, you have noticed here, the whole number, we just copy it down. Alright? So, this is now our answer. Now, how about if the denominator of the fraction is no longer 10 or 100 or 1000? How are we going to convert that into fraction? Of course, there are several steps to follow. Number 1, find a number you can multiply by the bottom of the fraction to make it 10 or 100 or 1000 or any one followed by zeros. And then, number 2, multiply both top and bottom by that number. Then number 3, write down just the top number, putting the decimal point in the correct spot, one space from the right hand side for every zero in the bottom number. Right? Okay, example. We have here 3 over 4. Right? So, applying the step number 1, we must think of a number that we are going to multiply by the denominator to make it 10, 100, or 1000. Alright? So if we are going to convert 4 into 10, there is no such number that can we multiply from 4 to get the product equal to 10. So 10 is not applicable. So let us proceed to 100. So the number that we are going to multiply from 4 so that we will obtain the product which is 100 is 25. That's correct. And then, after knowing that number, we will multiply both numerator and the denominator by that number. Okay, so this is it. 3 times 25 and 4 times 25. So after multiplying, the result is 75 over 100. Okay, and we can read also this one as 75 hundredths. Alright guys, if you could still remember what I have told you just a while ago, our denominator this time is 100. So let us focus on the last digit. So meaning the last digit needs to be in the hundreds place. Okay, let's try to find out in the chart. Okay, so 5 needs to be in the hundreds place. So 7 needs to be in the tens place. Alright, so meaning the decimal form of 3/4 is 0.75. Alright, so let us talk about step 3. Now, according to step 3, let us move the decimal point from the right side going to the left. This time, we will move twice because the number of zeros in our denominator here is 2. So, from here, we will move going to the left twice. 1, 2. Okay? That is what is meant by step number 3. So, again, guys, this is now the decimal form 0.75 of a fraction 3/4. Okay? Okay, next example. So this time we have a whole number 105 and 3/4. So we already answered this fraction into decimal form, but let me show you again the steps. Okay, these are the steps, and we knew already that the decimal form of 3/4 is 0.75. So the next question is, what are we going to do with this whole number? Simply, we are going to place this whole number in the chart according to its place value. So 5 needs to be in the ones place, then 0 needs to be in the tens place, then 1 needs to be in the hundreds place. Okay, so meaning to say the decimal form of 105 and 3/4 is 105.75. So you have noticed here that the whole number we have just copy paste. Okay, now I will introduce to you another method in converting fraction into decimal by the use of the long division process. Alright, so let us try this one. 1/3. So divide the numerator by the denominator. Okay, so we are going to use this division symbol. Okay, so the numerator, that is our dividend, and then the denominator, that is our divisor. Now let's start the division process. So 1 divided by 3 cannot be. In this case, we need to add 0 at the right side of 1. And once you add 0, you must indicate the decimal point after 1. Okay, right here. Then, we must also indicate decimal point in our quotient aligned with the dividend. Alright, so add 0 now, and then proceed to the division. 10 divided by 3, that is 3. Then multiply this one. 3 times 3, that is 9. Then proceed to subtraction. 10 minus 9, that is equal to 1. Then we need to add 0 again. Then bring down 0. Right? Then proceed to division. 10 divided by 3, still equal to 3. Then multiply these 2. So 3 times 3, that is equal to 9. Then subtract 10 minus 9, that is equal to 1. Okay guys, you have noticed here that the process is just being repeated itself. So in this case, we will no longer proceed. So we will stop in this step. Alright? So what are we going to do next is, we must indicate the Venn column above to this value. The Venn column will tell us that this value is repeated by itself infinitely. So that is the purpose. So meaning to say that the decimal form of 1/3 is 0.3. Again, we must indicate the bin column so that this will tell us that this digit is repeated by itself infinitely. So this is now our answer. Now let us talk about how to convert decimal into fraction. To do that, we need to use the place value of the last digit to determine what denominator of the fraction will be. Okay, we need to have our chart. For example, we have 0.75 or 0.75. Alright? Okay, so 5 needs to be in the hundreds place. Then 7 needs to be in the tens place. So the last digit is 75 and no 5 rather, and this digit is in the hundreds place. So meaning to say the value which is 75 will be over 100. Again, why our denominator is 100? Because the last digit is in the hundreds place. Alright, so from this, analyze if the fraction can still be reduced into its lowest term. In this case, yes. So we need to have our GCF. So the GCF of these two numbers is 25. So after knowing this number, we need to divide both numbers by the GCF. Alright? Then after dividing, the result is 3/4. So this is now the lowest term of 75 over 100. Meaning, the fractional form of 0.75 is 3/4. So this is now our answer. Right, next. So in this case, we have our whole number, which is 2. So 2.35. So but let us just focus on the decimal part, 0.35. Alright. So the last digit is 5. So meaning, okay, so 2 here, it needs to be in the ones place. Then 3, it needs to be in the tens place. And then 5 needs to be in the hundreds place. Alright. So again, we will focus on the last digit in order for us to know what will be the denominator of our fraction. Okay, since the last digit is in the hundreds place, meaning the value which is 35 will be over 100. And then we will just copy the whole number. And again, 35 over 100 can still be reduced to its lowest term using the GCF, which is 5. Okay, and then we will divide both by 5. Then we just copy the whole number. And then the result is 7/20, and then copy the whole number. So this is now the fractional form 2 and 7/20 of 2.35. And this is now our answer. Alright, so I have prepared an exercises for you. So this one, from fraction to decimal. So if you want to answer this problem, just screenshot this part and write your answers in the comment section. Okay, also another set. This is from decimal to fraction. And again, if you want to answer these problems, just screenshot this part and write your answers in the comment section. Alright, so thank you for watching, guys, and I hope you learned something. If you like this video, guys, don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit that notification icon in order for you to be notified in my latest video. Alright, so again, this is Sir Ponting saying, practice makes perfect. Bye!